Hello everybody, this is Mike Geddes, also known as New York Mike, part of the U Inc. Global team. And folks, I'm here to share with you the fourth segment of the Wheel of Fortune, which is known as follow-up, which is very important, folks. In fact, I believe it's 50 to 75% of the wheel is the follow-up, folks. And what you do after you show somebody the presentation, you want to set up an appointment to get back with them right away within the next 24 to 48 hours. But as you're waiting to get to that appointment, in the first 12 hours, you need to call them up, because that's when they're going to get the negative. Their friends are going to try to discourage them from doing anything to better their lives. And what you want to do is you want to be able to reinforce the positive and take away the negative, or any of the negative things that they might have found on the internet. You want to be able to explain to them exactly what they saw, and you want to be able to make it a positive conversation so that when you go to their house, they're ready to greet you. Otherwise, you might show up there and they might not be there because somebody gave them some stupid negative the next day when they go into work, and they say, you'll never do that, that's stupid, that's dumb. Folks, then when you get to their house, it's really crucial to understand these next three questions that we're going to ask them. Now, when you get to their house, the goal is you should show up and be friendly when you get there, folks, okay? You want to start to build that relationship. If you want to bring a piece of cake with you and go into the kitchen and sit with them, go to the kitchen, because it's usually the furthest room from the front door of the house. And when you go there, you're going to get to see a lot of their dreams and their goals. You might see golf clubs. You might pictures of the children on the wall. You might see different things. So when you sit down with them, you can start to develop a relationship with them based on that. We use the word form: family, occupation, recreation, and message. Well, what you want to do is you want to talk to them about their family, their occupation, and their recreation before you get to the message of the follow-up. Now, at the follow-up, after you're done talking with them and got to know them a little bit, what I would do is I would take out a pad and a pen, and I would say to them this. Let's say I showed a gentleman by the name of Joe. I would say, hey, Joe, what I'd like to do is I need to ask you three questions, because if I'm going to take time away from my family, my friends, and my business to come help you, I need to know a couple of things. And these three questions are, Joe, what do you want, when do you want it, and what are you willing to give up to temporarily to get it? And the reason why I'm going to do that is because these questions are designed to, number one, to identify their why. Number two is how to set a goal with the new person. And number three is how to set up your calendar based on what they're willing to do. So let's take a look at the first question, why you want to ask this question, what do you want? The reason why you want to do that is to find out their why or their dream. You want to know what's the driving force behind them, and you want to write it down. It's very important to write it down, and I'm going to explain that to you right now, because first of all, you want to share their dream with your upline. So I showed a program, a young guy yesterday, and he wanted a BMW. Well, guess what? When my upline's in the town or in the area or on the phone, I'm going to tell him about this guy in the BMW. Well, he's going to mention it. So he's going to say, wow, man, these guys are all in sync together. And I also want to refer to him a lot of times later. And you know what? I might call him up and talk to him and say, hey, listen, I looked at that BMW online. Man, that's a sharp-looking car. You want to send them pictures? You want to maybe take them to the BMW dealer and let them see it? And the other thing is that when they slow down or they're getting discouraged, you want to bring their dreams back up to them, because the dream is the driving force of anything people do in life, folks. Well, the second question is, when do you want it? Well, that's really important. In his case, he told me he wanted that BMW in 6 months. So what we're going to do is when I sit down with him, we're going to lay out a plan for that. But you know what? Probably the first plan, after I show him the meeting, I asked him, hey, listen, did you want to win an iPad? He said, yeah, I want to win an iPad too. So what we're going to do is we're going to show him how to win an iPad by setting small goals of doing the 4x4. So what I'm going to do is every goal that we're going to do in our business from this point on is setting up these power teams, setting up teams of 4 people right away. And why do we want to do that? Is because they're going to win money, they're going to get their power bonus, they're going to get their team bonus, and that's really important to set that up first in their front line, and then help that power team get their power team in depth for security. okay? And the key behind getting them on automatic order is telling them, look, as soon as I set up your 4 people, you're going to qualify for the team bonus. That's going to cover your automatic order every month, and that's going to be the groundwork to lay for a person so that they don't have to pay for their health products. They can get their optimal support package, you know, every month, and there's no cost to them because they always got the team bonus coming in, and that's pretty exciting. Now, the third question is what's really important. What are you willing to give up temporarily to get it? This is important, folks, because look, we're not telling people to give up everything they do in their life forever. The idea is to make enough money so that you can do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, and not have to worry about going to the job. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to help them set up their calendar, and what you're trying to accomplish is to set up 2 house meetings right away for them so you can expose to their 5 or 10 of their sharpest friends so that you can help them set up their team of 4 people. And you want to accomplish that in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And the way to do it is to have that house meeting as quick as possible. Now, if they start making excuses, what I'm going to suggest you do is draw this diagram out. Draw out a box and put a line in the middle. Put Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the top. And then draw a line through it and put 6 p.m. That's usually like the time after work. And then I'm going to ask them questions. You know, what do you do, Joe, during the day? Well, they're going to say Monday to Friday I work. So put an X in the boxes from 9 to 5. So at 6 o'clock they're free in the evening. Then I'm going to ask them, what do you do at night? And they're going to tell me, well, listen, maybe Friday night I go bowling, Wednesday night I have Bible study, Tuesday night I go to class. Well, now I see all these other boxes are opened up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule 2 house meetings. So in this picture here, I would have a house meeting on Monday night and a house meeting on Saturday during the day. Now, I just did that with somebody. I set up a house meeting on Monday during the day because the lady doesn't work and she wants to get all the housewives that are not working, and then I set another one for Friday night. Very simple, okay? Because look, if they're going to do something, folks, they got to give up something if they're going to make $100,000 a year. And then they got to commit to automatic order. If they're not, I might suggest that they might want to be an option 2 person who just refers people to us and until they're ready to really be serious about building their business. Now, I'm going to always keep that dream in front of them and keep writing that dream down, and I'm going to help you accomplish that dream. And then you tell them, say, listen, I'm going to help you get your dream. I'm going to help you win that iPad. I'm going to help you get that BMW. And I'm going to do this by helping you get 4 partners in the next 2 to 4 weeks, and we're going to go to work. You see, folks, that's what leadership is all about. That's why this follow-up is so important, to ask people, what do you want, when do you want it, what are you willing to give up temporarily to get it? Because, folks, remember, we're in the business of building leaders. And if you're going to build leaders, you need to lead people in the right direction and understand, help them set their goals, set their calendars, and help them get their team of 4 set up in the first 2 to 4 weeks. So with that, I just want to say God bless, and get with your upline mentor and get this program underway.